So I've been counting every single calorie for a week, and in the start of the week I weighed 77 kilos. So let's see how much I weigh now.
Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody and stained from
The process of counting calories is not something new to me. So when I was, I think, in my second year of college, I was obsessed with getting lean and getting abs. So I started counting calories in addition to doing 2 workouts a day.
could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me.
And I used to have for breakfast, I used to skip breakfast. For lunch, I used to have a salad. And for dinner, again, it was a salad. And I used to work out 2 times a day. And at that point, I was consuming about 1,500 calories, I think, a day.
Could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me.
And I did lose weight, I did get abs, but I was miserable.
Could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me.
Because I was consuming 1,500 calories when my maintenance calories were somewhere around 2,000 to 2,500. So, 1,500, actually, you know what? Let me just explain that a little bit better. Now I know this whole concept and business of counting calories may seem overwhelming and confusing. At least it was for me when I was first introduced to the concept. So let me just try to make it simple. So calories is the unit of measurement we use to measure energy. Calories consumed is the amount of energy we get from the food we are consuming. And calories spent is the amount of energy we spend doing anything during the day, like any exercise, we are burning calories.
Could try to play, but
Even our body's normal functions like digesting food and all burns calories.
you're never gonna beat me.
So that is calories spent. In the same way, calories is equivalent to fuel in a car. Maintenance calories is the amount of calories you burn in a day. You need to be consuming that many calories to meet the daily requirements. That's the meaning of maintenance calories. For example, if you want to go from point A to point B in this car and you require 5 liters of fuel. If you have 5 liters, you'll reach the location no problem. That is maintenance calorie. But when you reach the location, that's it. The fuel is over and you're going to be only over here. When you have excess calories, that is when you consume more calories in a day than required, then you have, say for example, you have 7 liters and with 5 liters, you reach the point, but you still have 2 liters left in the tank. That is going to be extra weight for the car. In the same way that you consume extra calories in a day, that is going to lead to weight gain, may it be in terms of muscle, may it be in terms of fat. I mean, there are a lot of complicated processes, but that is the simple version of it. If you have only 3 liters, you will not be able to reach the end of your destination. That is the same thing as eating less calories in a day. Now, the car will stop moving if the fuel is out before you reach the destination, but that's not the case with our body. Our body will look for alternative sources of energy. So it will start breaking down fat tissue, it start breaking down muscle tissue to provide you energy. So that's why eating less calories leads to weight loss. So the purpose of counting calories this time is I felt like I gained a little bit of extra weight that I do not require.
Could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me.
So that's the reason I wanted to count my calories. So I got the app set up and I kept my daily calorie goal at about 2,500. And today I decided to have breakfast. And damn, my breakfast was 638 calories. Like now I remember why I used to skip breakfast. But it seems to be going good and I have a lot of exercise to do for the day, so
Body ends break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain, pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane, pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less, your check is I'm chess, what's happening next, yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take a redemption. Just kill, no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression, Could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody and stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they see me. Better stand tall.
first initial days I started counting calories and I was sticking to the limit that I had set for myself, but I realized a problem around day 2 or day 3. Now before I get to the problem that I face, I need to let you guys know that I suffer from IBS, that is irritable bowel syndrome. which in simple terms means that my intestines has a bad reaction to most of the food I eat. And also my personal feeling is that the IBS has led to me not being able to absorb the nutrients properly from the food I eat. And now this is just my personal feelings. I have no way to prove it's right, but over the years I just felt like even though I'm consuming the nutrients, I'm not getting all of the benefits.
Could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me.
In the initial days, the problem that I noticed was not that I had IBS. I knew that for a long time now. The problem that I realized was I was consuming the amount of calories I need to consume in a day, but I was lacking on my macronutrients. Mainly my proteins and my fats were on the low side. My carbs were fine because I was eating crap. So my proteins and my fats were on the low side, and like I explained, I feel like with IBS I'm not able to absorb all the nutrients or get all the benefits from the nutrients that I consume. So if I'm consuming less of the macronutrients I need in a day, and plus my body is not absorbing all of those less that I consume also, then I'm severely on the low side of getting the amount of macronutrients I require for my body to function and build well in that single day. That's why midway I realized that I should not only be focusing on the calories I'm consuming, but the quality of food I'm consuming and the macronutrients I'm receiving from that food. And that's why I started consuming foods that are more rich in those macronutrients, foods that are less in calories, because I want to build up my macronutrients, but I want to keep my calories the same or bring down my calories. So that led me to eat healthier foods. So I had to cut out processed food, I had to cut out outside food, I cut out fried food, I cut out high calorie junk food, and that started increasing my macronutrients while maintaining my calories at the same level, and maybe even getting it down a little bit, so much so that I had calories left by the end of the day, and I would sometimes indulge myself in a little bit of junk food or something, just kind of a reward for being healthy that day, but still within the calorie limits.
Could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me.
After I started becoming more conscious with the foods I was eating, I was able to get my protein and my fat up. So like you can see the protein and the fats. Now this may not seem ideal still, but I was able to get it up a lot. So like the proteins, initially I was consuming only about 50 to 60 grams of protein, and I was able to get up to 110 grams, keeping the calorie limit the same. So this was a huge win for me. But initially I started this challenge with the goal of losing weight and becoming lean again. But I found something more amazing. You see, because I became more conscious with my foods and I cut out processed food, junk food, and foods that are usually bad for every one of us, I also noticed a drastic decrease in my IBS symptoms. Now, I'm not saying my IBS symptoms went away, but they drastically decreased, and that improved my quality of life, because if the IBS symptoms were less, my work was more productive. I was able to exercise better. I had more energy throughout the day. I was just feeling overall good. And like, forget the weight loss at this point. Like, if I was able to get through a week with like less IBS symptoms and overall feeling much better, then honestly that's a big win for me, because like I told you, there's no cure for IBS. So I need to find ways where I can manage the symptoms so much so that my quality of life improves or at least remains good. So that's why that was a huge win for me. Now that I'm more intentional with the calories I consume, and I know how to manage my IBS symptoms a little bit better, my quality of life is drastically going to improve. And that's why I believe that everyone should count calories, at least count calories for a month, just so that you are aware of the foods you're consuming, like the calories it contains, the macronutrients it contains, just that you have that awareness. Do it for a month, so you kind of understand what your body needs and where exactly you're lacking and where you need to improve, and overall it will just make your life a lot better. Now, even though I gained something totally different, I did start counting calories for the purpose of losing some weight. So I'm still going to check if I did lose weight. Now, if you guys remember, I started at 77 kgs this week. Let's see where I am now.